Hello, welcome back to a new Third Win channel video. Today we're going to be doing the third episode of our AHS ranked series where we're ranking the characters from each season. And go watch the other two that are available online right now, Murder House and Asylum if you haven't yet. And subscribe if you enjoy this series. And without further ado, let's get into it. Remember, these are based on my own opinion, and the criteria I'm going for is just general character likability, whether they be good or bad guys. Um, so let's get into it. Number 12, we got um, Zoe. So the reason Zoe's down here, and I know this might be a bit of a shock, is because everyone in the season is kind of, I don't know, they all seem a little bit kooky, a little bit crazy, and the characters are quite over the top, right? So for a character such as Zoe, she just feels too normal. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it, but that's how I feel about this character, and she just feels a little bit uninteresting. I don't know. Maybe it's just the effect of the season, but that's where I'd put her. And no, but she's still very valuable. It's hard to make the ranking. She's very valuable to the season, to keep this kind of grounded opinion. But next we have Delphine. I enjoyed the kind of earlier in the season where we get kind of her backstory and whatnot, and I learned something about history in New Orleans, and but the gruesome things she did, and having a villain such as that just reanimate herself in the kind of modern day-ish era is quite interesting, and I liked her little stabs as well, and makes for some spicy scenes. But that being said, maybe not the driving factor for this season, so she finds herself in 11. Next, at number 10, we're going to put Kyle. Although he's kind of a villain, right? Although an interesting kind of approach, he comes off as very unlikable. I don't know. I don't. Man, some of the things he does this season, some of the scenes, the acting is phenomenal. I will say that much. But, Kyle is kind of in this weird spot for me. He's just kind of almost almost too creepy. It says a lot when you put it into regards to the show. But it was really creative screenwriting, and I really enjoyed his character. I really enjoy most of these characters. But putting them in ranked is a bit of a challenge. So next we have number ninth spot. We have Queenie, and from here on up, all the characters are great. Interesting. Queenie gets this spot. Um, I don't know. I guess it's just general kind of how much I like these characters. I love, I get, you know what? The way I can explain it is that most of her appeal comes through her power rather than her personality. She's kind of, I like her sass, but she's a little argumentative. It can get a little repetitive, but I never get tired of her kind of voodoo powers. That's always great. And that's as much as I'll say here. And remember, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but this list is all regarding just everything within the third season. So we're not going to future seasons, and we're not covering what these characters did later in the series. Next, we have number 8. We have Nan. Nan's power is one that I think that comes is a double-edged sword, being able to hear everything kind of eavesdropping, it's kind of clairvoyant, which is interesting, and she has this kind of bubbly personality, and there's not much to say. She's not, again, not really a driving factor for the season, but I think she's an interesting character and has a cool power and has some cool character interactions. Um, Moving on, number 7, I'm gonna put Marie Laveau. I think she's very well played. Angela Bassett played her great, and I like her kind of style and her vibe and her like woman power. This whole season's kind of woman power, but her particularly, she really holds her ground. Really interesting character. But she's not. She doesn't have her foot in this season as much as some of the other characters. But really interesting, quite likable. Next, we have Myrtle. I'm not as big of a Myrtle fan as some others, but I like her little jokes and how she's kind of witty, and her style is phenomenal, but you know, she's being compared to some other characters here. But you know what? Actually, when I come and think about it, I think that there's someone more deserving of the sixth spot, and that's Fiona Good. I just realized I do like Myrtle more than Fiona. Fiona, in a way, she comes off as a little bit similar to Sister Jude, in that she has like this kind of conflicting between her bad side and her good side. She wants to do well, but also she's quite greedy and selfish. Um, and her interactions are great, and I love her role in this season as like a kind of like a fading supreme. But that being said, Myrtle is just she one ups her a bit of a more interesting witch, you know, and her storyline is also interesting. I'm saying interesting a lot. I'm gonna change that up. But yeah, 6 and 5. Next, at number 4 we have Spalding. You know, maybe a little bit high, but I think that kind of this kind of mute keeper of secrets over the years, kind of what he knows, very mysterious, great acting. There's not much to say. He's just really, really in, mm, mysterious, and that makes him very intriguing. He can be creepy. Sometimes he can even be charismatic. It's just a really good element in the season to kind of spice it up. And we have a very few males, so you know, well casted, I think. Next at number 3, we'll have Cordelia. Um, you know, as this is just this season, I think this season, you know, not taking into account what she did in, for example, Apocalypse, uh, she's all right. You know, at times she can seem a little bit tame to be like top dog for the witches. You know, she's kind of like a jack of all trades a little bit. Um, but she's likable, you know, and she has a story to tell in this season as well. And as always, most Sarah Paulson characters deliver, and Cordelia is the same. And I like her kind of motherly role for the witches. Next, we have, and this one is really a throw up for me. I don't know why I have this appeal for these two. I guess I like the polar opposite ends. But at number 2, we're gonna have Misty. You know, her vibe is maybe the best, you know, along with, you know, we're gonna go ahead and put her number 1 so I can talk about them. You know, their two vibes are honestly, these polar ends are probably two of my favorite vibes in all of AHS. I just, I love how kind of hippie and laid back Misty is, and her kind of, um, she's this kind of elemental witch, you know. I don't know how to explain it. She's just, her vibe is great. I like her power. I like her kind of story. Her story in the season is great. Um, Stevie Nicks, being the number 1 Stevie Nicks fan, that's great. And just such a likable character. I don't know. She's great. I don't know how you can hate her. And lastly, we have Madison Montgomery, which I'm sure everybody is going to comment saying, "How could you put her there? No, 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 no." But to me, she just makes the season so much more approachable. She, she's just great. I don't know. She's so entertaining to watch as well, and got an interesting power. She's got an interesting story with her, you know, wannabe actor and all this. And just her vibe as well. You know, she's the opposite of Misty, which I don't know why I like that too. The vibe is great, kind of like, ugh, you know, the kind of resting bitch face vibe. It's great. I don't know. She plays it well. But with that being said, that is my list. This is probably the season I've saw the most time ago. So if I were to rewatch it again, my opinions might change. This was quite a while ago for me. Haven't rewatched it recently, but that being said, this is how I'd put them now by kind of likability. And please make sure to like the video if you like the video. And go watch the other two if you haven't already. And subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys soon. And as a last little wish, let me know down in the comments below where you would place these guys and where I got this wrong. And let me know. Type a little argument there like, you're stupid. this is why you're wrong. Okay, so thank you for that, and I'll see you guys soon.